Please stay. Honorable Member.
Madam President, colleagues, members opposite, ladies and gentlemen of the gallery, listening public online, good morning. Madam President, I take this opportunity to update the general public on some of what has been happening within the Ministry of Health, Gender Affairs, and Social Empowerment. In the month of October, we recognized quite a number of significant dates and events. Those would have included Breast Cancer Awareness Month, celebrated as Pinktober in October. So October would have seen quite a number of sensitization and awareness initiatives from within the Ministry of Health, as well as through public-private partnerships. We had a number of breast screenings at the various health centers across the islands, and I am taking this opportunity once again to highlight to the public that we are still offering free mammogram services at the Alexandra Hospital until December 31st, 2024. So I'm imploring everyone who has not taken up this opportunity as yet, please make your appointment with your doctor, get a doctor's referral, and make that appointment to get your free mammogram services. While encouraging the public to do this, it was brought to our attention that it is still challenging for some individuals to be able to afford the regular doctor's fee, and we want to be able to make this service accessible to all. So we collaborated with the doctors that are placed on the district in our health centers, and we were able to make sure that if you visit these doctors, you will also have access to get a referral free of cost. So for information purposes, the doctor's clinic sessions at the different health centers are Mondays at the Butler's Health Center from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Tuesday at the Brownhill Health Center from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., Wednesdays at the Gingerland Health Center and Cotton Ground Health Center from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Thursday at the Charlestown Health Center, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Friday at the Combermere Health Center, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So we have no excuse for not taking care of ourselves. Please go get your mammogram. We also recognize International Day of the Girl Child in October, and this is a day to recognize the value of our girls and to help our girls to recognize the value of themselves. So through education, they would have had a number of activities within the schools to encourage girls to celebrate and value themselves. And within the Department of Gender Affairs, we recognize a number of girls across Nevis in all of the schools as the Girl of Excellence for 2023. Madam President, October was filled, as I mentioned, so October also was the month of the older persons. So in this month, we saw our seniors march. We saw a vibrant sports day with our seniors. They were very active. Cricket, they had needle threading, they carried sticks, bundles of sticks on their head. For those who weren't physically able, we had the word find activity, and it was an excellent community-spirited activity where the seniors got to be active, healthy, and engaged. They also had a 70s-themed seniors bashment, which was well attended, and I'm thanking the general public for its support, as well as the inaugural elocution contest, which saw the different seniors community groups competing against each other, and they were all winners in my book because I was thoroughly entertained. Mental Health Awareness Week was also celebrated in October, Madam President, and in recognition of that, one of the major activities that would have taken place is a training session between the Ministry of Health and PAHO, where we had a 3-day workshop in crisis intervention for first responders. And this crisis intervention focused on mental health. So oftentimes our police, medical personnel are called out to deal with individuals suffering from mental health issues, and we thought it critical to be able to sensitize them and give them the appropriate tools to be able to handle these cases in the most humane and effective way possible. Madam President, we have rolled over into the month of November, and that brings us to International Men's Month. So International Men's Day was celebrated on Sunday, November 19th. So happy belated Men's Day to all the men in the room and all the men who can hear the sound of my voice. We're celebrating this month with a number of activities, including our signature Men Can Cook, podcasts, panel discussions, church services, and our award ceremony this Saturday, where 9 men from Nevis and 9 men from St. Kitts will be awarded. And this will be a joint ceremony between us and the Gender Affairs Department on St. Kitts. Someone asked me the question of why we're celebrating Men's Day, because men are not marginalized. And we understand that while men might not be seen as a marginalized group, this month is about recognizing the positive role models, those who are contributing positively to the environment, promoting gender equality, and we are also addressing some of the unique challenges faced by men. So this year it's being celebrated under the theme Men's Health Matter. And we recognize that quite often it is not seen as masculine to speak about your emotional health or your mental health or even your physical health. And this month helps us to be able to shine a spotlight on some of those issues. I want to take this opportunity because in the Ministry of Health we also recognize that more women access our health services than our male counterparts. And that's not an indicator that they're more healthy, just that they access the services less. So we encouraging our men to take care of your health, not only for you, but for yourself and your family. Interestingly enough, Madam President, the data shows that men who are married live longer than those who are not married. So that might be a plug for those who are on the fence and thinking about it. You get an additional few years of life if you tie the knot. Health tip for the day. Madam President, while we're on the matter of health, I want to use this platform to raise a critical issue that we are facing in the public, in our community right now, and that is a recent surge in dengue fever cases. Dengue fever is a serious illness, and it's caused by a virus transmitted through the bite of an infected mosquito. It's imperative that we address this matter as soon as possible. Oftentimes we hear dengue fever and it's not taken quite as seriously as some of the other diseases. I think in our minds it's a flu, but the dengue fever can also be fatal, and we don't want to wait until we get to that point to recognize the seriousness of the issue. So some of the symptoms can range from mild to severe, and they include high fever, pain behind the eyes, joint and muscle pains, rash, and the disease can also come in extreme cases where it can cause serious bleeding and a sudden drop in blood pressure, and that can cause shock or death. 1 in 20 individuals who are infected with dengue can develop serious dengue, and we cannot wait for this to happen before we address the issue. So the Ministry of Health is doing a number of activities to try and tackle this, and that includes community fogging, sensitization, cleanup measures, identifying vector areas and breeding sites. But it cannot be done by the ministry alone, and I know the public often calls for more fogging. Fogging only takes care of adult mosquitoes, and that is not enough to squash the problem. We have to be able to eliminate the breeding ground, and we also have the risk of mosquitoes building up a resilience to the chemicals if we use it too often. So with that in mind, we are calling on the entire Nevisian public, the general public in the Federation, to look around your yard, look around your homes, identify any stagnant water that's settling. You know, some of us has drums in our yard. We have, even if you have a plant and the base of it might have water settling, you have to identify those areas and be able to clean them out quite regularly to be able to stop these breeding grounds. As some personal measures, you can also utilize wear long sleeves, mosquito nets, install screens in your home to be able to reduce your risk of getting infected and thus spreading. So it is critical, if you do realize that you have symptoms, that you seek medical attention so that we can have early detection and then provide proper care. As a community, we must come together to be able to address and tackle this threat. So if you see members of the Ministry of Health team coming around and speaking to you, identifying areas in your yard or your communities, please engage with them. Please listen attentively and put some of the measures that they are suggesting in place. You'll be hearing a lot more regarding this issue in the upcoming weeks. So, Madam President, I want to thank you for indulging me and the general public for listening, and I hope you're able to act on some of these recommendations that have been provided today. Thank you, Madam President.